Some people say León is the end of the Meseta. León is that way a few kilometers. And some people say Astorga, which is still down the road another day or so. You know, looking around here, my bet is on Astorga.
Ah, yes. We know it's 8 o'clock because the luggage transfer guy is picking up our bags. And that means it's time for us to leave León. First thing, locate the cathedral. Second thing, don't miss the opportunity to get a picture of yourself with the León sign. I think it's a Camino requirement. From here, get ready for some city walking. Look around the cathedral's plaza for the yellow arrows, which are hard to miss. Along the way, we pass this somewhat grotesque sculpture titled Figura sentada con pájaro, or seated figure with bird. Apparently, the local birds have left their critiques all over it. A little farther along, there's this more heroic statue of Alfonso IX, a 12th century king perhaps best known for modernizing Spain, or what passed for modern back then. After more urban walking along Calle Renueva, we come to a bridge over the Rio Bernerza. I would recommend, for the convenience of it, stopping by one of the mercados before you leave town for trailside snacks or even lunch.
Well, they have sandwiches already made up.
Yeah, I think so.
Slowly, we work our way out of town, and after about 7.5 kilometers, depending on where you stayed last night, we come to Villar del Camino, a bustling little town along the busy highway. Here we find an exception to what seems to be the rule around here, that all churches are ancient. This Basilica de la Virgen del Camino was built in 1961 and looking pretty modern.
However, its location is based on a 500-year-old myth about a hermit who said he saw the Virgin Mary. The hermit saw this as a sign that his local bishop should build a hermitage here. The skeptical bishop needed more proof. So the Virgin Mary told the hermit to throw a rock in the air with a slingshot. And where the stone landed, she said, is where you build your church. The stone hit the ground and turned into a boulder. End of discussion.
If the city noise for the last 2 hours has gotten on your nerves, the Basilica is a fine place for a few moments of quiet. A short walk later, we come to a choice of routes. And unfortunately, none of the signs at the junction even hint at where each way goes. See what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, we turn left. All right. Good.
We're taking the path that leads to Mazarife. This brings us to an unpaved trail that starts off through a large open area before crossing the AP 71 highway on a pedestrian overpass, and quickly going under Highway A66. That brings us to Fresno del Camino, and a moment of route-finding confusion when the arrows don't immediately show up. And this map and sign didn't really help.
We crossed the highway here and then went under this one here. And it doesn't show us going back under anything. So that's why I think we need to go straight.
Answer to the dilemma? Continue on the Avenida Encina. We continue along the paved road where we meet this couple from the U.S. Midwest who are obviously on their first day of the Camino. More than 11 kilometers since we started this morning, we enter Encina de la Valdecina. It's a good place to stop and air out the toes. The adobe buildings we've been seeing off and on for the last few days continue, giving the village an old world feel. After a few minutes, we leave on this dirt path that ambles about the countryside for nearly 5 kilometers. As we learned later, the other route we decided against back in Villar del Camino runs along a highway for most of its length. This is definitely the more pleasant setting. Finally, after all this rural goodness, we come to Cosas de Abajo, known for its October Potato Festival. We missed the spuds by a few weeks. With French fries on our minds, we leave on the paved Camino León. The route is flat as a table and easygoing, if perhaps a smidge tedious. Lastly, we arrive at Villar de Mazarife with its 3 albergues and 2 hotels. It's a sleepy place.